Okay, January 16th. January 16th, 1883, Chester Arthur signs the Civil Service Reform Act, commonly called the Pendleton Act. This was an act that reformed civil service with the federal government. Um, the issue came into really prominence with the assassination of James Garfield by Charles Guiteau, who was an office seeker who wanted to get a job with the federal government and couldn't. And so the belief was if we could just reform the civil service, and so instead of it being a patronage appointments of political allies, it became a merit base. So people had to pass tests. They actually had to be able to prove that they were qualified to be able to do the job that they were being hired for. Chester Arthur had been put on the ticket with James Garfield to satisfy Roscoe Conkling of New York. Roscoe Conkling was the boss of New York, and one of the plum jobs in the federal government was the New York Port Authority. The head of the New York Port Authority, because the head of the New York Port Authority collected a percentage of all the goods that came into New York. And so that could be spread out amongst Roscoe's political friends. And so now with the civil service reform, that wouldn't happen. So when Chester Arthur was put on the ticket, it was believed that he was basically Roscoe Conkling's inside man. So when Garfield was assassinated, Guiteau actually said, I am a stalwart, and now Arthur is president. The stalwarts being the Roscoe Conkling faction of the Republican Party. But Chester Arthur proved to be his own man, went against Roscoe Conkling, and pushed through and passed this Civil Service Reform Act, and as a consequence lost the support of Conkling and then did not get reelected in 1884. So this was a big blow to the political bosses, because they would take donations from wealthy donors as part of their income, and then for those donations, those wealthy donors would then get the plum positions within the federal government when they were in power. So it was a big hit to political bosses, but a major reform of the federal government. So that's what I have for you today. I will see you tomorrow.